program and he had interviewed Andrea Cruz, who we talked about yesterday, and with her case. She had a case where she was sentenced to 14 months in jail for a fake diploma scam. And, we weren't sure exactly who she was working for, because we know that the Serve Guam Commission is under Adelup. In fact, if you go to serveguamcommission.com, their website, and you scroll all the way to the bottom, they have the governor's seal on that page. But when I reached out to Crystal Paco San Augustine, there was this, it was almost like a grenade. Everyone was like, wanted to get away from this situation. Yeah, if you could show that video. Everyone was like, oh, she's not a GovGuam employee, and then ended up calling and talking to Miss Doris, who kind of oversees the Serve Guam Commission, and she said, oh, no, she's not a government employee. Of course, I had gone off on a rant about this yesterday because of the criminal history of Mrs. Cruz and the official misconduct conviction. Obviously, we were concerned that she was working for the government of Guam. Come to find out, that's not necessarily the case. I guess she's an employee of our next guest, and she's funded through a federal grant, which I kind of thought was interesting. And Marlene Rivo, who is the executive director of this Western Pacific Veterans Group, we wanted to just kind of address this off the bat, and then we'll jump into all your programs. But I haven't done the research, and actually spoke with Andrea yesterday, and kind of her comments to me were that she has paid her debt to society, and that this is, one way that she can continue to give back. But I just kind of wanted to discuss just real quick, Mar, if we could, when you have someone who was pled guilty of abusing the public trust as a public school teacher, this fake diploma scam. We had talked about it at length yesterday. Is there still trust left here for her to be kind of leading this veterans program for you guys, Marlene? Good morning.
Oh, first of all, Chris, thank you for bringing me on and to help shed some light into this topic. Yes. So anyway, prior to Andrea coming into our program, we knew of her history. Okay, so let me give you a little bit of background about the Veterans Project. Okay, so the ultimate goal is reintegration with the community. And so here we have a population that some, based on their PTSD, they have a hard time reasserting back into the community. So when we, as a matter of fact, this AmeriCorps Vet Corps program, it is the first in Guam in 3 years. And when it was actually a divine coincidence when, we were asked, hey, can this help your cause, to advance the veterans initiatives that you were doing? I said, yeah, absolutely. And then when Andrea came to us and we knew of her background, we're like, wait a minute now. There is also a program by DOL. It's called Second Chance. And that is something that we are also trying to get, trying to stand up as part of our program. Because, one of the things we determined when we were doing our research and our, to determine what veteran programs we are doing here, some of the concern and issue that were brought to us were some of our veterans are actually being sent to jail and they don't belong there. And I'm not saying that they didn't do anything wrong, but Guam does not have a rehab center for them. So that is something that, that is part of the project that we are doing. And then when Andrea came to us, and, I asked her, well, do you mind, we certainly would love to uplift you because, people do make mistakes. And then when we consider the type of mistake that she made, we're like, okay, so we're going to give it a shot. And this is a federal grant, it's 100%. As long as you clear all the checks and backgrounds that is required by the grant, then we are okay with that. And I also asked her, again, I go back, I said, hey, Andrea, we saw the good in her. We saw the talents that she brings to the table. And that's what we wanted to highlight, because then it would be a great example because some of our I'm a veteran myself. I served 27 years.
Well,
I
thank you.
retired in 2012. So some of the issues that we are finding with our fellow veterans is that you have to first build the trust. You have to first the relationship. So when and not just that, she also is a family member of veterans. So we're like, you know what? If you would like to take a chance in us, we would like to take a chance with you. And I was working closely with her probation officer, and I told her, bottom line up front, this is what we're working on, our veterans project. We see the good, the good in her. We understand that she made a mistake, and she was actually incarcerated for that mistake. So now we would like to be the organization that gives her a second chance. And like I mentioned earlier, Department of Labor has a program called Second Chance.
So is this part of that second chance? Is Andrea's hiring part of this second chance program, or are you just mentioning that they do have a...
I'm just mentioning that, but it's something that we would like to launch that down the line, because okay, let me talk a little bit about the structure of the Western Pacific Veteran Community Foundation. It is a nonprofit organization, and the AmeriCorps program is just one of the subsidiary programs that we have. We have other programs that we are working with other nonprofit groups, veteran nonprofit groups that we are also launching. So this is just part of the program, but ultimately it's one of the programs that we are going to launch, because we have a workforce reintegration program that is going to be led by another nonprofit called NVTSI, aka Reboot. Because when a person joins the military, regardless of the branch of service they choose, we are conditioned to think like a military person. When we come out, that person that went in, we go through boot camp and trainings and all that to get that military conditioning. So when we come out, this other nonprofit, they've been around for over 10 years. Actually, it was a fellow veteran that brought this organization to us, Charlie Hermosa. So what they do actually is they take the fellow veterans, and it's called Reboot. It's an opportunity to go through some courses and job placement,
Right.
training, just so we can get reintegrated back into the community.
Mar, I just wanted to go back to the hiring of Andrea. Is she a veteran?
She's a family of a veteran. So our primary area we have 4 focus areas. Our primary focus area is veterans and military families.
So why not hire like a veteran and give a veteran a second chance? I'm just asking.
We're going there as well. As a matter of fact, we have been cleared to recruit, and we can recruit up to 70 members.
So just to summarize, you're basically saying that obviously with this is being funded by a federal grant, that Andrea in her application process disclosed her criminal past, in which she pled guilty to swindling parents of students and accepting cash for fake diplomas. Is she still on probation? So she's on probation. Well, you guys worked with her PO, and she was able to get in. And so you're basically saying we knew it, and this is a second chance. And because she has a relative who's a veteran, she's qualified.
Our screening process is very tedious, and she passed all of them. And first and foremost, she doesn't touch cash in our program. She doesn't have anything to do with the cash. Okay. So there's a lot of layers, because it's a federal program. There's a lot of layers, checks and balances that is available to the program.
Right. Okay.
But one of the requirements for the Second Chance program, do you have to be a veteran?
For this one, you know what? The Second Chance, I think it's for everybody. But ours is, our program is for veterans and military families. Again, I go back to the comment that I made earlier. The ultimate goal of our Veterans Initiative is ultimate community reintegration. We want to be back into the community. So, I mean, working alongside the community is actually a great opportunity, for us and for the community as well.
But you do understand some people may, be critical of this hiring.
Yes. So I was apprised about that yesterday.
Yeah.
And then, you know what? I go back to this. So when someone makes a mistake, is that the end? Is that the end? For them?
Yeah, it's not the end, but I mean, usually, if they're still in probation, then they're probably still paying for that mistake. And I'm just saying, there's a lot of people out there who probably are. Did you get any applications? Anyone who wasn't like convicted of official misconduct and swindling people out of fake diplomas or on probation, or was she the only applicant?
We did as well, and we went through the stuff. We went through the qualification, and again, and this is this is, like I said, this is our first year. This is our first year. So if based on her performance and so far she has exceeded our expectation based on her performance. It's performance based, and the grant is annual. So we have an opportunity if she does not perform to our standards. And again, with these concerns, obviously it would be a factor that we have to consider. Yeah. We have, then we can say, okay, we've launched, we've done this one, and we listen to the concerns of the community. We need to consider that, and perhaps we, bring in another person. So those opportunities are open to us. Mm.
In a situation like this, and when you see someone who's still in probation, who, just completed serving a sentence for a crime like this that really abused the public's trust and even, took advantage of vulnerable students who were just trying to better themselves through education. When you see a person like that get a job, right, you think automatically like, oh, they must be connected to someone. And so we know that Andrea is related to the director of the Serve Guam Commission, Miss Doris. So at any time, did Miss Doris ask you for a favor to hire Andrea, or was that disclosed, or was that anything to do with it?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Again, when we look at these things, we look at the person's credibility, and are you implying like nepotism? But no, not at all. I mean, our foundation is separate and apart from Serve Guam Commission. We saw the opportunity on the paper. It's open, to apply for the grant, and we are so blessed that we got the grant. And the team at Serve Guam Commission, it's our first time applying. They're very, they're very good in what they do. They guided us through, the whole way, and we are happy that we are blessed with this opportunity, for our veterans.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, it is a great program. It does look like there's a lot of great benefits that the veterans can avail of.
Yes. It's not just on paper, Chris. It's going to be, as a matter of fact, before we even launch this program, we've already connected some of our fellow at-risk and homeless and homeless veterans to some of the housing programs that we have available. So we've been quiet. We figured we don't need to make we don't need to let everybody know, we're doing a great job or what. Let our work speak for us. We've been connecting people with the other nonprofits that we have, because when we took this on, I've been at this Veterans Initiative since I retired. I retired in 2012, so I wanted to give back because the National Guard, the military has been good to me and my family. My oldest child is active duty right now in my second serve for 5.5 years. So, I have a lot of respect for our military. So I wanted to give back. So I recruited 3 other fellow veterans, and we started a group, and that's all we did. We just wanted to see what we can do, as veterans helping veterans, just coming together. That's all we wanted to do, and and it's still the same. It's still the same because our attitude at the end of the day, it's our island, it's our people, it's our community. We live here. This is our home.
That's good to hear how passionate you are about getting those services out to those veterans.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How do they get a hold of you guys? What's your number? Because there's a bunch of stuff I saw where there were grants for education that could also be passed on to the kids of veterans, right? That's pretty big.
Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely. Please, any opportunity that you guys can give us a shout out, because right now we have to recruit 70 members, and the members can get a stipend of $528 a month, and then at the end of their service, when they complete their service, they get an education award of $3,095.50. And the members that we are able to bring on once they pass our our credentialing and everything, from 17 years old and above. So let's say, for example, a parent wants to be an AmeriCorps member, and they don't need the education award. They can actually transfer that education award to their kids or their grandkids.
Is that so? You're looking for 70 positions, and is it strictly for veterans?
Veterans and military families.
Got it. Okay. And does it matter if they have a criminal conviction or anything?
It depends on the type of offense that they committed. And again, they go through, just because they're applying, it doesn't mean they're already accepted. They have to go through the credentialing that our program, has to conduct. And then once they pass, then they're part of our program.
Oh, wow. So what if they were convicted of like theft by deception or official misconduct? As a veteran, would they still be able to qualify for these benefit grants that you guys have?
Don't quote me on this one yet. Again, we are not the ones conducting the background. We actually send them through the court system. So I think the major offenses that would deem them unqualified for a program would be if they had committed, murder, or if they are in the sexual related crime. Those two.
Okay. What's you guys' phone number, Mar?
Okay. You have my phone number right now, and Andrea's phone number as well.
Yes.
We're hopefully we'll get our office. I had a meeting to sign our lease, but I had to, we're going to be located at the GCIC building. Once we have that information, I promise I would like to give it to you. And like I said, we would appreciate any and every shout out that you can give to our program.
Of course. We support the veterans 1,000%. So as of now,
thank you.
You're welcome. So if a veteran's listening to this and they want to get involved, can they call? Like, what do? I give out your cell number, or we just wait until you got an office?
No, not at all. Actually, we've been, like I said, Andrea, Annabelle, they've been going to the outreach with our other, non-veteran counterpart. They're called HMI. So when they hear what they do is they just send them. So Andrea is the program director for our AmeriCorps Vet Corps. So she's got the lead on this one. And then she sends the application to the potential member, and then they go from there. The community does not have to wait for us to have an office. Not at all.
Okay, right on. Well, Mar, thank you so much for your service. And it kind of sounds like you're still standing this program up, but I did do my research on what it offers through the grant that you guys received. And we definitely want to highlight what these veterans can get from your program. So when it gets a little more concrete and you have, forms or whatever that you want to share, just shoot me a WhatsApp and we'll get you back on. No problem.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Marlene.
Thanks.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Let's see. 8:51, Tuesday, June 22nd. Good interview there with Marlene Rivo. She's the executive director of the Western. Hold on, let me make sure I get this right. Boy, there's